Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I actually want to delve into something different. We are going to be talking football. However, for the first time on this channel, we're going to be talking football journalism. Specifically, Fabrizio Romano and whether the hate, the backlash, the downfall quote unquote, is deserved. And what sparked all this? Well, let's start off with how he started journalism, because I feel like it's important to have a bit of background. He started at the age of 16 back in 2009, where he started writing for FC Inter News, which is Inter Milan news journalism, right? Then at the age of 19, he joined Sky Sports Italia, where he would report for Sky Sports in Italy. He started writing his own journalistic pieces of writing as well, whilst appearing on Sky Italy. Okay. And then back in 2020, 2021, he started doing independent journalism, where the "here we go" catchphrase went viral across social media, on his YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, so on and so forth. Now, it wouldn't be a problem, right, if he didn't start taking a left on how he talks about deals. Because Fabrizio Romano has this strategy nowadays of mentioning the same thing like 5 times in a few days, for constant reminders, which people got fed up of, right? And then there's also been a few occasions where the "here we goes" don't actually fully get announced when it comes to deals being announced. It might fall through, whatever. I'd like to just specify this before we go any further. The "here we go" is deal agreed, personal terms agreed. This does not include medical being completed. A medical could still fall through. You could still fail a medical. There could be a change in terms before anything even happens, to the point where the deal falls through. Okay? We saw this with PSG and Suzuki earlier, where the deal collapsed, or at least earlier in the last few days. Deal collapsed due to agent commissions, and Suzuki's agent wanting more, slightly more, an extra 10%, which is 10% above what the FFA, the French Football Association, allows. So deal fell through. Came over the "here we go." That was done deals from Florian Plettenberg. So it wasn't just Fabrizio. And then, obviously, because of that, Fabrizio got heat about the "here we go" not actually happening. Aston Villa then come in. Aston Villa get the deal sealed. 30 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. Sick. Another key example of the "here we go" failing, or at least not going through, is João Pedro to Newcastle back in 2023. Now, I don't know why this one didn't happen, I will be honest. If someone would like to do research and let me know, please let me know. I should have actually done research before filming. But that didn't happen as well, as João Pedro moved to Brighton later on that window from Watford. Now let's talk about "here we go's", which got called early to a point where people thought it was a probability guess. Yan Diomande, 130 million euros plus add-ons, I believe was the fee going around, which is around 115, 110 million pounds. Fabrizio called it quite early, I will say. Quite early, a week before anyone else got it. We had Fabrizio saying "here we go." We had Ben Jacobs and David Ornstein. Heck, I think Ben Jacobs was on Fabrizio's side of all this. But we had David Ornstein, we had Florian Plettenberg saying deal is not done despite reports. and we have Florian Pettenberg start beefing Fabrizio Romano. I mean, it's unprofessional for journalists to be arguing with each other, to be honest, but in this day and age, with the amount of back and forth, the amount of shots fired at each other verbally, honestly, people enjoy it, but still not a good look for what they've built, especially Florian Pettenberg. Currently a Sky Sports Germany journalist, and he's beefing with Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. But anyways, we'll look back round to that. Fabrizio was insistent that they were signing a replacement, and everything had to be signed off from Leipzig then for him to travel to have a medical. Everything got signed off 8 days later, so it wasn't in the same week he mentioned in the tweet. Now, obviously, people still call him a liar for that because it wasn't done in that same week. But yeah, again, you can never predict how football goes. There can always be a delay. However, it was always going to be expected to be done that same week. Right? Now, obviously, through this Yandy Amande deal, we had Leipzig's official account. So here we not go. Yandy Amande appeared in pre-season camp in Austria with Leipzig, taking a shot at Fabrizio, right? Not very professional from a football club account, I will say, taking shots at journalists. Once again, that's the era we're in, okay? Now, the reason why I've decided to make this video is because I want to talk about Fabrizio Romano and if the hate is deserved, including if the Daily Mail, which the article will be here, the screenshot of the tweet promoting the article, it will be there, right there. Whether it's valid. Because an article got released a few days ago about Fabrizio Romano and how he is a nuisance and how club staff has stopped responding to his calls, etc. How the constant spam updates and the details which we already knew because he mentions it 5 times. It's all in that one article. Okay, I don't believe Fabrizio Romano deserves the article by Daily Mail. I don't think it's that bad. Sure, it can be annoying hearing, keep an eye on Garnacho, keep an eye on this, keep an eye on that. Don't forget that this deal is advancing, talks are advancing. Sure, it can be a little bit annoying. I mean, we had Garnacho to Chelsea get planted in Chelsea fans' faces last summer at least 20 times in the same week. Probably more. Right? Sure, it can be annoying. However, the investigation, what they are doing right now. They've reposted the article on the X apparently 4 times, according to Fabrizio Romano taking a shot back at them under one of their tweets about the Rodri deal earlier today, saying, how about instead of doing your investigation and reposting the article multiple times, how about you source the information? And he goes on about the information being behind a paywall, blah, 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 blah. So Fabrizio Romano took a shot because the article was probably not needed. Okay, and Fabrizio Romano has a lot of people going at him right now. And I don't think Fabrizio Romano deserves the hate he gets. I personally think he's worked so hard to get here. He's done such a good job. And he's even hinted at a shift in how he does journalism. From after this summer, probably due to the amount of heat he gets. So we'll see what updates he makes to his own journalism style. But I still think people are trying to get him cancelled. People are trying to force him out of the scene. And this is where I want to start talking about Florian Pettenberg. Now, Florian Pettenberg, or Petty Goal, whatever one you want to call him by, has actually been a big admirer of Fabrizio Romano since day one. Yeah. Fabrizio Romano even said about how he was asking how to grow socials, if they want to work together, blah blah blah. From Pettenberg then hit back saying, "Oh, we're leaking DMs now," as people do find DM leaks quite disrespectful. So they went back and forth. I personally believe that Plattenberg shouldn't be taking shots back in any way, shape, or form. And I think this whole beef going on between them two, hopefully it gets resolved. I mean, it probably won't, let's be honest. Fabrizio Romano doesn't even credit Florian Plettenberg at all anymore. He's fully stopped. He does credit David Ornstein and others. It's quite obvious who Fabrizio Romano has good relations with in the journalism world. And the way journalism is going right now is you'll have all different types of ways of doing it. You'll have the one update and log off. You'll have the consistent reminding. You'll have not the consistent reminding, but different updates about that same story. For example, player is pushing for move whilst club is negotiating, blah blah blah. You'll get different types, same word, different wording, slightly different context. So journalism has changed a lot. Journalism has evolved. Some people are chance takers, some people are guessers. For example, Etihad Intel. For example, Secret Source. Yeah, they're all guess takers. They guess. They don't have sources. Fabrizio Romano has been called a probability merchant, a guesser, and any failed here we go gets laughed at because people don't understand the meaning of here we go. So in my opinion, just cut him some slack. Really, just cut some slack. Fabrizio doesn't deserve the hate, doesn't deserve the cults against him, doesn't deserve the constant backlash. He doesn't. Because he's just doing what multiple other people do, and he's just trying to make a living off reporting transfers. And he's clearly doing something right to get. I mean, come on, man. He's clearly doing something right. To get these brand deals, to get these partnerships with the Zone, to appear on Give Me Sport, to appear on all these other news channels, websites, like The Guardian he even featured on. He's clearly doing something right. So how about instead of giving him backlash and slack, how about you, do his job? How about you do journalism? How about you build this tree of contacts, this tree of sources, which are better than Fabrizio's, because Fabrizio still has amazing sources. How about you try to do his job? How about you try do updates on 5 or 6 different socials, getting DMs asking for updates for each bloody story every hour? How about you do that? Because let's be honest, those who hate on him don't know how hard his job is. He has his methods. David Ornstein doesn't go posting on YouTube a few times a day. David Ornstein doesn't do TikTok, I'd assume. Okay, David Ornstein does Instagram, and I'm pretty sure he does Twitter. He does the Athletic website. I don't know about anything else. He probably does do TikTok. He features on NBC, he features on Sky, and I'm pretty sure he features on TNT. Fabrizio Romano has his own ways of doing it. Fabrizio Romano has gained a lot of respect in the journalism world until recently. Where he still has a lot of respect and a lot of fans who respect what he does. But then you have others who love to just hate for no reason. But I'm going to end it here. You're going to be getting a lot more videos. I hope I promise that, because I say stuff and never do it. I'm going to push for daily uploads again, football related, and then you'll get a vlog here and there. I was going to do a Battle of Flowers vlog, but realistically, I wasn't going to make it in town in time because of the traffic, the buses. It was going to be late, and I was only going to film content if I could see it from the start. And I also just came out of work. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. You'll be getting an upload tomorrow. Whether that be Chelsea news or something else. It might not even be a football related talk video, but you'll be getting a video tomorrow. I promise. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and peace!